Oof. It's really hard to decide. I can't really decide which one to use, actually. They're all good. I'm going to make sort of a twist on one of my favorite desserts, crepe Suzette. But in a crepe Suzette, we've got orange and caramel. But this time I'm going to use Alex's whiskey. And I want to combine that with some sea buckthorn, loaded with flavor. And they grow all over the beaches here. That nice acidity there, and the caramel and the whiskey and the smokiness is going to make this into a crepe for adults, I can tell you that much. So I've got about 4 deciliters of milk in here. And I need 2 eggs with that. That's 1. All right, 1 more egg. So that's 2 eggs, and we need about 2 deciliters of flour. That's roughly 1, and that's roughly 2. Bit of salt. Work it in. I've got this quite exciting product here. It's called apple granulates. It's dried apple. This is what's left over when you press apples. This contains a lot of pectin, so it would naturally bind things and keep it together. I'll try and use some of it in my pancake batter, and perhaps we'll even get a bit of apple flavor to it. So now all of my ingredients are in the batter. Give it a little bit of a taste. And yes, you can actually taste the apples. But I'll tell you what's really nice about this. You don't get the acidity of the apples. So this would be really good to bake with, probably. If you want to make apple cupcakes or muffins or something like that, and you don't want the acidity. Perfect. Cool product. Never used it before. Okay, now that's ready. We'll start making our pancakes. I'm sure you're admiring that spectacular view behind me. Right now it's early on in the season, so all of this heather that I'm surrounded by, absolutely, completely surrounded by, is pretty dark, but I bet you when the heather blooms, this is going to be purple, absolutely purple and fantastic. Okay, that's the final one. Let's start working on the caramel. This is just normal caster sugar. And when it comes to the amount of butter and sugar, I roughly have the same amount, roughly, which means in this case I've got about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter and 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to add my sea buckthorn to it. As soon as they hit that hot caramel, they start to pop and release all of their flavor and the juices. And you can see how the caramel turns really, really golden. Now I wanted to add some vanilla to this as well, just to round it off a bit. This is just regular bourbon vanilla, and then just into the caramel. Just cook it for another 15-20 seconds. Now it's time to add the pancakes. There's only one flavor still that needs to be added, and that is the whiskey. And I've decided to go for the young rye. I'm adding roughly 2 to 3 tablespoons of whiskey. And then tilt it over the fire, and you can see that it's burning now. As a matter of fact, there's a roaring fire in the pan, which is all good. As soon as it stops burning, that means that the alcohol is evaporated and you end up with a flavor, and that's what we want. 3 golden, beautiful pancakes, and that is done. All I need to do now is plate it, add a bit of vanilla cream, and sit down and enjoy. I really love this combination. Sweet, and still there's acidity from these beautiful sea buckthorn, and a light smokiness from the whiskey. I mean, this is one of those desserts that I will definitely cook again and again and again.